I'm here showcasing the skinned Monopoly Dungeons and Dragons version of the game. Now, that's basically everything you know and love about Monopoly, but skinned with Dungeons and Dragons elements. And let's go ahead and open up the box and show you all the pieces and what you get and what's different. The first thing you'll notice is the Monopoly money is like D&D themed, and it has like little dragon symbols or fantasy elements to the different money denominations. Unchanged is the colors, between the fives, the tens, the 50s, the 500s, etc., the 20s, the ones. So I like the little symbols on it, like the decorations, has that nice little fantasy dollar theme to it. Looks pretty good. Setting those aside, we'll open up the cards. Now in the D&D Monopoly skin, instead of collecting properties, you collect kind of monsters and lease out properties to monsters. So that's the difference between the games. You could see instead of community chest, you have treasure cards, and instead of chance, you have encounters, which is very clever reskin from community chest and chance to have treasures. And here, look, get out of jail free, persuade the god to let you go. I love the little the fantasy themed encounters and tropes in the cards. And then, of course, encounters are your chance cards. Here's a chance card. The Tarask has awoken, advanced to Tarask. And I love how the properties are all monsters. So instead of like the railroads, you get like the themed areas. And then, of course, you get the various monsters that you can mortgage. Such nice artwork. Very, very cool. Each monster has a money denomination like anything else. Just really, really nice looking. Now let's set the board aside and look at the rest of the pieces. Of course, you get your instructions on and how to play. You get, of course, your houses and your hotels. That part is unchanged and similar to traditional base Monopoly. And then, of course, you get your pewter figures. Now, the pewter figures are all D&D themed characters or races and classes, and I really like the way the pewter figurines look. You, of course, get your rogue, your barbarian, you get your wizard, you get your dwarf. They feel nice, the little metal characters. I like that they're pewter and they're metal and not plastic. They look really cool, well detailed. Honestly, I like the way they look better than the normal Monopoly pieces. There's so much detail put into these pewter figures. That's more detail on these than there is in the traditional Monopoly pieces. They look great. And then, of course, let's set this aside and show you the board itself. Really love how they skinned the Monopoly board with the Dungeons and Dragons theme. You, of course, have all your monsters as your property spaces. Again, the same colors exist, so you know which one's Boardwalk, you know which one's Park Place, you kind of know which one's your Pennsylvania Avenue equivalent. So you get the same colors that you recognize in the properties, but the monsters of the properties, you got your chance cards, which is your encounters. You get your community chests, which are your treasure. It's just a really, really cool looking skin of Monopoly. I can't wait to play with my family. I just got it this Christmas, and this looks like a great way to play Monopoly, but add a little fantasy RPG element skin to it. This is the Dungeons and Dragons Monopoly board game, and it just looks awesome.